And good evening, everyone. My name is Francis Terrazowitz. I'm coming to you live from the summit of Mount Washington, and I'm here to talk about the upcoming holiday weekend forecast. But first, I want to mention a little bit more about Seek the Peak and a particular promotion we're doing this weekend. So for Memorial Day weekend only, if you do indeed register for Seek the Peak, you'll be instantly entered to win any number of collectibles, including one of 20 of the classic Seek the Peak t-shirts and one of 5 of the Cotopaxi backpacks, just for registering. And you can donate to any one of the 6 observers, as well as Nimbus. He's got his own team this year as well. And I also want to change gears here a little bit and introduce the newest member of our summit crew. He's going to be spending the summer with us up here on the summit. Come on in, Alex. And so, if you want to say hi to everyone.
Hey everyone, my name is Alex Moore. I'm a senior at Appalachian State University. I'm an intern up here this summer, and I'll be working on near-surface lapse rate research to kind of help inform multidisciplinary research in the future.
So thanks, Alex. It's going to be a great summer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And so now we'll change gears a little bit more here and go to the current conditions up here on the summit of Mount Washington. And so it's been a bit of a changeable day up here on the summit. We started off much colder, I should say, and winds were certainly much stronger. Now we're down to, actually, just updated here, 31 or 38 miles per hour, I should say. And looking up the vertical temperature profile for today, this has been pretty much the theme. Much warmer in the valleys and, of course, colder up here on the summit. And so we've had temperatures around the upper 30s at the moment, coming up from around 29 degrees this morning. And the valleys have been pretty toasty warm, right around 60 degrees throughout the day. And we'll take a look now at the weather deck. And so we'll take a visit here. And really, this tells the whole story here. A beautiful sunny day up here on the summit. We see some high clouds filtering in, maybe even some lenticulars there in the distance. But overall, a pretty pleasant and fair day outside of a few clouds that occurred this morning. And so we'll change gears now, and we'll actually look at the national satellite from our friends at College of DuPage Meteorology. And you can see pretty much the weather story here is a broad area of high pressure across the eastern portion of the United States, allowing for mainly clear skies from the Midwest through the Northeast area. Perfect timing for, of course, Memorial Day. I know everyone wants to know what exactly the forecast is going to be like up here on the summits. And so we'll go from looking at some current conditions now to some forecast models. And so we'll take a first quick look at precipitation. Expected precipitation, and spoiler alert, there's not a whole lot of precipitation expected this week, if there's any at all. And I'll actually move to this side of the camera here for everyone. And so we'll advance the clock into the overnight, and let me just get my focus. Here we go. All right, we'll advance to the overnight. You won't see a whole lot of precipitation here. Pretty dry conditions lasting through the day on Saturday. Saturday, we're going to see that high pressure building in from the Great Lakes region overhead pretty much, and so we'll see continued dry weather. And we'll fast forward into Sunday. And again, a storm system well to the south, but really a beautiful Memorial Day weekend shaping up for the Northeast. We've got a bit of a weak disturbance off to the Northeast, but that's going to be really far away and really only impact us in terms of slightly increased winds during the second half of Sunday. And we'll take the clock out a little bit further. This is later Sunday now into Monday. And more of the same, yet more sunshine, warmer conditions as well, and a little bit of a breeze up here on Monday. And again, the storm system staying well to the south, really affecting the southeast overall. And so we'll take a look now at winds. I've mentioned them a few times now. And so we'll rewind the clock a little bit to this evening. See some busy northwest winds again in the range of 30 to 40 miles per hour. And those winds will tend to slacken off a little bit overnight as that high pressure starts to make its way into the region. You see much calmer winds underneath that high pressure. And so those gusty northwest winds will likely continue through the day tomorrow and start to wind down a little bit towards sunset and the evening time. And we see the winds actually sort of bottom out Saturday night and into very early Sunday. And then I mentioned that disturbance off the Northeast. You can see a little bit of an area of higher winds across eastern Canada. And so as that disturbance makes its way southward and impacts areas of Canada, winds may be on the increase up here on the summits again for that second half of Sunday. Generally in the 30 to 50 mile per hour range, maybe some gusts into the 60s. I'll have to keep a close eye on this for the second half of Memorial Day weekend. And those winds will continue into Sunday, and then weaken somewhat as that system departs, and a secondary area of high pressure actually builds in. And we can see winds really decreasing on Monday. Quite a beautiful Memorial Day up here on the summits in terms of winds. And our last stop, we'll actually be looking at temperatures now for the Memorial Day weekend. And so we'll look at temperatures again around the 5,000 foot mark. And so no surprise, we'll start off nice and cold overnight. Temperatures falling down into the lower 30s and then gradually increasing overnight as some warmer air starts to move into the area. And we'll see that with our future model here. We can see some of the warm air actually coming from the northwest for a change. And so we'll keep the clock going. Temperatures tomorrow will warm quite nicely across the northeast, so not just at the higher summits, but around the region. And so high temperatures will likely top out in the lower 50s tomorrow. We'll keep the clock going. Sunday now, even a little bit warmer, perhaps Sunday, maybe making a run at 60 degrees. We'll have to keep a close eye on that as well. And then we'll continue that warmth into Monday. And again, that sneaky system to the northeast, maybe pushing just slightly cooler air into the higher summits for the day on Monday. And so we'll break down the daily forecast now. We've got a presentation here for that. So no worries. All right. And I will click through this now. And so this is the higher summits forecast for Memorial Day weekend. So for tonight, no surprise, we'll be in the clear, under partly cloudy skies, and temperatures will initially dip into the lower 30s. We've got clear skies overhead, so it's going to allow for some radiational cooling, and then they'll rise to the mid 30s by sunrise, and winds will be from the northwest at 20 to 35 miles per hour, increasing a little bit to 25 to 40 miles per hour with gusts up to 50 miles per hour by the overnight. And wind chills will actually be on the increase, starting between 15 and 25 degrees above zero and rising to between 20 and 30 degrees above zero. For Saturday, we'll continue to be in the clear under mostly sunny skies. High temperatures will rise to around 50 degrees, perhaps getting into the lower 50s as well. Winds will be from the northwest, 25 to 40 miles per hour, with gusts up to 45 miles per hour, and then decreasing to 15 to 30 miles per hour, again, as that high pressure starts to build into the region. And wind chills will be between 20 and 30 above, and then rising throughout the day. Saturday night, we'll continue the theme of clear skies and no summit fog to speak of, but under some beautiful clear skies. Low temperatures will settle down into the middle 40s, and winds will be from the northwest at 15 to 30 miles per hour, increasing somewhat to 25 to 40 miles per hour as that high pressure passes off to the east. And finally, looking at Sunday, we'll be in the clear under mostly clear skies. Kind of sound like a broken record here, but it'll be a beautiful weekend up here on the summit. And high temperature will rise in the mid 50s again, perhaps approaching 60 degrees if we get lucky. Winds will be from the northwest at 15 to 30, increasing throughout the day to 25 to 40 miles per hour, with gusts up to 60 miles per hour. And I don't have it up here on my PowerPoint, but Monday's going to be a lot more of the same, mostly clear skies and a little bit less in the way of winds. And so to close out, I just want to remind everyone again, we have our Seek the Peak fundraiser ongoing. It's our classic Mount Washington hike-a-thon. Raise money while earning gear and supporting the observatory, our mission to advance the understanding of Earth's weather and climate. And I've got some prizes as well associated with Seek the Peak. So $50, your registration fee is applied directly to your fundraising goal. And you also earn access to our amazing Apres party at the very end of the Seek the Peak. You also get a $15 food truck voucher. And these prizes go all the way up to the top team fundraiser. You actually get to spend an educational night with us up here on the summit with you up to 8 guests. And in between, there's a lot of great gear. And of course, with each $100 amount increase of your donations, you get another entry into our amazing gear raffle. So you want to check that out. And of course, this weekend again, a chance to win even more gear if you do register on this Memorial Day weekend. And I hope everyone has a wonderful and safe Memorial Day weekend. The weather should be pretty beautiful. And yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.